What's up, everybody? My name is Jason, and welcome to Small Biz. We approach noon just outside of Atlanta, Georgia. Last trade on Mullen, $17 a share. The obvious question of this day is, what the hell is going on with the stock more than doubling off its low of $6.95? And what are two or three scenarios that you need to be aware of so that you don't make a huge mother effing mistake? All that and more coming right up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, 11:58. If my eyes are not deceiving me, I promised 2 weeks ago I would never put the title of that stock or the other one in my videos, and I will not. I am the same guy that's got a 91% win rate for the year. I'm the same guy that could have turned 10 grand 18 months ago to almost $250,000 for you. Abso-fucking-lutely. And I'm also the same guy. Thank you very much for those who reached out that yesterday implored people, do not buy the puts, do not short the stock. I am not taking any credit for this whatsoever because if you've done your channel checks, you know there are no options. You cannot borrow the stock legally in the retail space to short it. So what the hell is going on? Let me get right out of the way. I do not think it's a dumb retail money that's chasing the stock up. Last trade, 17 and a quarter. Look, if it hits 18, which is the equivalent of where I sold it, if you're me, I'd be selling at least a third to half. If I'd have told you this morning when they flushed the stops at 7 into 695, I'll give you 17 and a half last trade for half your stock. You got 3 seconds to tell me. Once sold, right? Oh my God. Nobody, not me, not you, not even the biggest fucking clown with a pronoun and absolutely no dick on fucking stock twits would have thought that this was possible. So I'm going to spend the majority of my time in less than 10 minutes and try not to swear so much because they're going to fucking ban me and it's going to take an hour. But again, let me get this clear. And I mentioned, I think it was 1544 red alert last trade. What is that? 1788. Folks, look, if you're not selling some or all on this fucking bounce, you're making a huge mistake. Because what I think is going on is we have no options. You've got to have, I think the number is 7 million outstanding in terms of shares. After the 1 for 100 reverse, there's 4.5 million or thereabouts. So there's no ability to short the stock. There's no ability to buy the calls and for many of you, the puts, which I said was a huge fucking mistake. So this is either most likely David buying the stock, but wasn't the blackout supposed to end on December 29? So if it is him, and I'm not quite certain it is, I'll give you two other scenarios that I believe is possible, then he's going to buy somewhere around, I don't know, let's say he paid $10, $11 a share, 2 million shares. So what is that? 8.5, 9 million shares of volume. It's obviously more than above. So you probably have the same fucking people that sold this morning in a panic that are getting all lathered up at FOMO. Close, there's $18 a share. Ding, ding. If I had a fucking bell, I'm fucking ringing it right now. Summer all needs to be sold. Hurry up, Jason. All right, so what is going on? It's either David buying back a couple of million shares of stock, which is possible, but again, the record date or the open window was supposed to be the 29th. So at least 6 million shares are piggybacking off him. Now we're coming back down 1727, something like that. Look, that might be it. That might be motherfucking it. Whatever the 18 number was at just after, what is noon, 12:02, whatever the fuck that might be it. Because I think this is one or two scenarios. Get to the point, Jason. All I care about is myself. I don't give a fuck about your fucking Discord. If you're interested, it's trysmallbiz.com. Get it before it sells out. It's either some hedge funds as we approach the end of the year playing games. For example, they're not stupid like most of you motherfuckers that are watching me right now. They know there's 4.5 million shares. They know that there's no options that can be traded. They know that there's no ability to short the stock legally in terms of the retail space. So they may have gotten together in a group of 2 or 3 and reached out to their asshole friends in the dark pool and say, look, stay off the naked shorts. Let's let this stock flush the first hour and a half, and then we're going to start pumping it. We're going to get it up to 15 to 20 a share. The dumb retail is going to think that this is a GME, and it's motherfucking not. And then we're going to pull the plug, and our bonus that's going to get paid out in fucking February is going to be bigger than what we thought, because we can count on the dumb motherfucking retail in Reddit and stock twits to get all lathered up at the wrong fucking time. You buy the dip, you sell the rip right now, back to 1710. I'll bet you half my paycheck this month that for this day anyway, 18 and change, whatever it was, is the high, perhaps the motherfucking high, which leaves us with what in terms of the most likely scenario? If it's not David, and it could be, if it's not hedge funds playing end of the year games to jack up their bonus, what could be the case? And this is where I would lean if I had to make a final decision. in the obituary that David wrote the other day, where he was very gloom, and you got to do some of that legally. I'm sure his lawyer said, don't be, saying anything out of line. Don't be tooting your own horn. He should have fallen on the sword a bit more, but he didn't. But let's assume, as he alluded to, that they have to do financing for 2024, and the insiders, the toxic motherfuckers, 2 of which have been indicted or in jail in the past 48 months, they want to get away from them. So let's assume a Jeffries, a Cantor Fitzgerald, an H.C. Wainwright, somebody that's lower middle tier in terms of investment banking, has already cozied up to David and his friends at Mullen. And they said, look, once we reverse this stock yesterday, the guy that said don't short and don't buy fucking puts, the retail space is not going to have the ability, back on track, Jason, the retail space is not going to have the ability to short or buck and buy the puts. We have a window between now and when we actually do the dilution, or the window opens up, assuming it's not David on the buyback on the 29th. We have a window to play games. So, David, you're going to need financing. You have approximately $200 million. It's probably less than that in cash. They've already said they need financing from a credible source. My words, that not theirs. So let's assume they came up with a number, $75 million. This morning, it traded, for the most part, that first hour in the 7s. So it would require 10 million shares plus the 4.5, roughly 15 million shares outstanding to raise that 75 million bucks. Or, because again, there's no ability to short from retail, they may have told their dark pool friends to lay off it for a few days. Why not, right? Let it go up to 18. What is that? 16 and a quarter. We may have seen the top, like I just said a couple of minutes ago, and then we short it at 17, 18, 16, probably down to 15, and fucking do an offering, not now, but in a week, maybe a little longer, of half the amount of shares. So instead of having to issue 10 million at 7.5 to raise 75 mil, they would only have to do 5 million. I'll just throw a number out there, $12 or $13. So they jack it up to 18 and change. Last trade, 16 on the nose. They do an offering, probably slightly below market or even money at 12 of approximately 5.5, 6 million shares. But what's going to happen in closing at that point? You're going to trigger that minimum limit for the options. And here comes the puts. And here comes the ability to short at retail in the first half of January. And if you actually believe that this fucking stock, which just cranked to $18 a share, is actually going to stay there, then I've got something about 15 motherfucking inches long that you need to see. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, oh yeah, always remember that I motherfucking love you. And thank you so much for watching.